So far we talk about universal law and different other concepts which are important, but now let's talk about something that touch you very, very closely, because we said that everything is in this body, in your body. So your body is a micro universe, okay, the microcosm. There's a macrocosm and the microcosm, okay. So now let's see. When I told you about the mind and the emotions, and I said, okay, about passion, where you feel passion, where you feel fear, where you feel attachment, love. Okay, the old sage, thousands of years ago, discovered that there are center of energy. Okay, in Sanskrit it's called chakra. Let's say plexus. Okay, now let's see. We have our little man here, and then we have 7 different center. The first one is the coccyx area. Second one is in the root of the genitals. Third one is the navel area. Fourth in the center of the chest. Fifth in the throat. Sixth here in the third thighs, here. And 7 here. Okay. Now, this doesn't mean anything, right? So these centers are okay. In the universe, we have 5 fundamental factors. And these 5 fundamental factors are solid, liquid, luminous, aerial, ethereal. Okay? Because we have to see, like I said, what is it to do with microvita? Listen and you will see. Okay. So this is the center called the solid factor. This is the liquid. This is the luminous factor. This is the aerial factor. And this is the ethereal factor. Okay? So these are the 5 fundamental factors. Means the universe is made of these 5 things. And you too, you're part of this universe, right? But you have much more than what a star can have. You have a mind, okay? Where can be the mind? Mind is here, okay? This is the center of the mind. And how you know? Like suppose, this is very funny. Suppose you have an accident, with a car, and then you see that you go to crash. And what you go to do? The first thing you do is like this, right? What you go to protect? Your eyes? No. Your heart maybe is more important. No. What you protect? Your mind. Here, like this, right? So now, mind is here. So here's the mind. And here, what we have here? We have the self, the consciousness, okay? Here we have the self. Now, we talk about emotions. Okay, what about emotions? Emotions, when we said about passion, what do you feel passion? Passion you see here, but what we have here? Here have the genital close by here, right? So here we have the passion. And where you have fear, where you have terror, when you feel terror, maybe you never experiment, fortunately, no, but terror is when you cannot control, you pass urine because you're just terrorized, okay? It's also here. When you talk about fear, where do you feel fear? Here. When you feel, what they call shyness, here. Okay, attachment, here. Okay, all this in the center, okay, in this point here, right? But if we go higher, what we find? We find in this point we have this love, okay, where you feel love, okay, which is very important. So why is so important? Because here we have the immune system. Also, incidentally in this center, this center controls the most important glands of the body. So here we have the gonads, here we have the suprarenal glands. Here we have the thymus, very, very important because this is the immune system and is very important for us, coronavirus. Here we have the thyroid, here we have the pituitary gland and pineal gland, okay? So these glands are basically the most important glands of the body, and incidentally where are these chakras? Now these chakras are connected through a channel, okay? Maybe is a little bit straighter than mine, okay? Mine is a little bit, but is like this. So this is a channel, is connected all the chakras, And this chakra control, like you said, the emotion. We are talking about, like you say, I was love here, okay? But also here we have hope. We'll see later. We'll explain more about hope, about several other, there is one video especially for this because very important. Okay, then what we have, we are talking about lunatics. You remember that we talk about the people that get unbalanced during fasting, okay? During this attraction of the moon. So this is getting unbalanced, this chakra here, okay? So now these chakras, or this center, this plexus, they have emotions. So how many emotions? So we have 4, 6, 10, 12, 16, 2. If you add all these, will give you 50, okay? 50 emotions. And these emotions are multiply themselves. How? So we say 50 by 2. 2 means that this emotion we can experiment this emotion internally and externally. I have fear. Yes. How can I have fear? Well, I just think about something that happened to me and is internal, so I have fear. But I can have also external fear. A snake that come here. Okay, that is external fear. So internal, external. But how can I feel fear? In many ways, 10 different ways. My sensory and motory organs. And this give me 1,000. This 1,000 is all the emotions of human being. And where we experiment here? Exactly here, in this center. Why I'm telling all this? Because later on, when I teach you some very, very important item, you will see how so important this 1,000 here. So now I just give you small pieces to make the puzzle, okay? But at the end you will understand more. So we have all these emotions, and this emotion is like a lotus flower, you know? Like say, you see here we have 2 here. Okay, we have 12 here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 12. Okay, and so on. Okay, so now what we want to talk about, that in this universe we have also 3 different forces. Okay, so what is these forces? Look, I was a baby. Sure, I was a baby. Then I was a young man. Now I'm an old man. And one day I'll be dead. Okay. So what's happening here is there is a flower. The flower first there's a bud, and then is go to, become a very mature, the flower, and then is go to decay. So these are 3 forces: the force of a static force, then dynamic force, and pure force. And these forces are everywhere in the universe. You are made of these forces. And your mind is influenced by those forces. And your mind on your microbiota are influenced by those forces. So everything is moving through these forces. And also your body, also your chakras are static chakras, dynamic chakra, and pure chakras. Okay? So the first 2 chakras are the static chakras. Okay, the middle one is dynamic chakras, and the rest is pure chakras. Why this is important? It is very important because microbiota attack they have full control because they are very static in the first 2 chakras, and that is very important for you because you don't want to have this reservoir of negative microbiota in your lower chakra. But of course, if you give a free will to freedom, let's say, to your basic propensity of food, like we said, food, and then eating, sleeping, and then procreation, sex in this case, and fear, it's gone. You just go to suffer because this microbiota will attack you more. So what we want to do instead, we want to elevate our mind to the upper chakra where we feel the most beautiful feelings, which are mixed sometimes, but the point is they influence that they have in our mind. So what we want to do is this. We want to understand that we are a machine. It's a biological machine at the end of the story. So this biological machine is connected to the universe, is connected with everybody around, with the human environment, with microvita, and with these forces. And this is what we said about the universal law also. So what we want to do is to have the most pure forces that always control our mind. It means peace, happiness, tranquility, okay, compassion, desire to serve, desire to do things beautifully, okay, fine art, whatever, right? Instead of what we do, if we follow the normal system of entertainment, what they give to us many times, they give lot of story with violence, with fear, with horror story, pornography, and whatever. All this will just go down our vibration, and then microvita will create the perfect environment for negative microvita to attack us. So what we want to do, we want to get free from that kind of environment, and on the opposite, to make stronger this new environment, okay, this subtle environment. There is another thing very important, but I'll give you in the next video, which is going to touch you very, very closely, because we talk about food.